3 bottles on your counter. One is vitamin A because you read it supports your skin and your immune system. One is a green tea extract capsule because the label says antioxidant support. And one is either an acetaminophen you pop for headaches or a high-dose niacin you take for cholesterol. Each one individually tested. Each one sold over the counter. Each one considered safe. But here is what nobody told you. No one has ever tested what happens when all 3 hit your liver at the same time. Not the manufacturer, not the FDA, no one. And what actually happens inside your liver over the next 90 minutes is not safe plus safe equals safe. Your liver breaks down every substance you swallow using a small set of shared chemical tools. Think of it like a kitchen with only 2 burners. Each supplement needs a burner. When 3 compounds show up at once, they do not wait politely in line. They fight for the same burner, they crowd the same counter space, and they generate hot, dangerous byproducts faster than your liver can clean them up. The result is not just reduced effectiveness. It is a toxic bottleneck that can damage liver cells in a single morning dose, all while you feel absolutely nothing because your liver has no pain receptors inside its tissue. Most people think supplement safety is simple. Safe or not safe, right there on the label. But safety was only ever tested 1 bottle at a time. Your liver does not process them 1 bottle at a time. It processes them all at once through the same narrow machinery. Today we are going step by step through your liver's 2-phase detoxification system. I am going to show you exactly how high-dose vitamin A, concentrated green tea extract, and acetaminophen each load the same enzymatic pathways, where the dangerous collision point forms when they arrive together, and what specific damage that collision does to your liver cells. By the end, you will understand the precise mechanism behind supplement-induced liver injury, and you will know which combinations to avoid and which blood markers to ask for. Let us open the hood. Your liver runs a 2-phase assembly line. Every single substance that enters your bloodstream, every pill, every drink, every supplement, passes through this system. Phase 1 is a team of enzymes called cytochrome P450. You have about 57 of them, but 2 do most of the heavy lifting: CYP3A4 and CYP1A2. Their job is to take whatever compound arrives and crack it open. They oxidize it, reshape it, break it into smaller pieces so the body can eventually flush it out. But here's the part most people never hear. Phase 1 does not make things safer. It makes them more dangerous. The intermediate molecules that come out of Phase 1 are often more reactive and more toxic than the original compound that went in. Phase 1 is not the cleanup crew. It is the demolition team. It swings the wrecking ball and leaves behind sharp, unstable debris. Phase 2 is the actual rescue. A separate set of enzymes rushes in and attaches neutralizing molecules to those toxic intermediates, so they become water-soluble and harmless. The most important of these neutralizers is glutathione. Think of glutathione as a chemical fire blanket. Your liver cells, called hepatocytes, keep a reserve of it on hand at all times, ready to smother anything dangerous that Phase 1 produces. When both phases are running in sync, the system is elegant. Debris gets created and instantly neutralized, but that glutathione reserve is not bottomless. It is a finite tank, and everything that Phase 1 processes draws from the same tank. Now let us add the first supplement. Retinol, preformed vitamin A. You probably bought it for your skin or your immune system, and at normal dietary doses it is processed without issue. But in supplement form, especially above 10,000 IU per day, the math changes. Your liver uses CYP2E1 and CYP3A4 to break retinol down into its active metabolites, retinol and retinoic acid. Both of those metabolites are reactive. Both need glutathione to be neutralized. At high doses, retinol does not just sip from the glutathione tank. It takes long, steady draws, manageable on its own. But the tank level drops. Now add the second supplement, green tea extract, not a cup of green tea. A concentrated capsule of EGCG, the active compound. A single cup of brewed green tea contains roughly 50 milligrams of EGCG. One concentrated supplement capsule delivers 400 to 800 milligrams. That is 8 to 16 times more EGCG hitting your liver in a single dose. Your liver does not treat that as tea. It treats it as a drug-level chemical load. EGCG gets processed through CYP1A2, and here is the key, CYP3A4, the same enzyme already busy handling retinol. And when EGCG goes through phase 1, it produces quinone intermediates. These are directly toxic to liver cells. They need to be neutralized immediately by glutathione, the same glutathione already being drawn down by retinol. 2 supplements, 2 pulls from the same finite tank, 2 demands on the same CYP3A4 enzyme. Now add the third, acetaminophen. Maybe you took it this morning for a headache without even thinking about it. Your liver handles about 95% of an acetaminophen dose through safe, routine pathways. But the remaining 5% goes through CYP2E1, the same enzyme processing your retinol, and gets converted into something called NAPQI. N-acetyl-P-benzoquinone imine. NAPQI is one of the most toxic intermediates your liver can produce. Under normal circumstances, it exists for only a brief moment before glutathione smothers it completely. You never feel a thing, but NAPQI has one absolute requirement. It can only be neutralized by glutathione. Nothing else. If you are taking high-dose niacin instead of acetaminophen, the threat is different, but the destination is the same. Niacin above 1 gram per day causes direct damage to liver cells through a separate mechanism, adding yet another burden to an already loaded system. 3 supplements, each one individually tested, each one individually safe at recommended doses, but all 3 need glutathione. All 3 recruit CYP450 enzymes, and now all 3 have arrived at the same time. This is where the system jams. EGCG and retinol are both competing for CYP3A4. When 2 substrates fight for the same enzyme, both get processed slower. That means both compounds sit in your liver longer in their unprocessed form, prolonging exposure. Meanwhile, CYP2E1 is handling retinol metabolites and converting acetaminophen into NAPQI simultaneously. Dual loading on a single enzyme. NAPQI production increases while retinol clearance slows down, and the whole time glutathione is being drained from 3 directions at once. Here is the threshold that matters. When your liver's glutathione stores drop below roughly 30% of their normal level, the fire blankets run out. NAPQI, with nothing to neutralize it, starts binding directly to proteins inside your liver cells. EGCG quinones, with nothing to smother them, start attacking the fatty membranes that hold those cells together. The combination does not just add risk, it multiplies it, because the competitive inhibition on those shared enzymes makes each individual supplement more toxic than it would be alone. Retinol sits longer. EGCG sits longer. NAPQI accumulates faster. This is not gradual wear and tear over years. This bottleneck can produce acute oxidative stress within hours of a single morning dose. So, what actually happens to the liver cell when the fire blankets are gone? NAPQI binds to proteins inside your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside every cell. Once those mitochondrial proteins are damaged, the cell cannot produce energy. No energy means the cell dies. Not slowly. It undergoes necrosis, an abrupt, messy death that spills the cell's contents into the surrounding tissue. At the same time, EGCG quinones are attacking the cell membrane itself through a process called lipid peroxidation. They rip apart the fatty layers that hold the cell's structure together. Membrane integrity fails. The cell leaks. And retinol metabolites trigger a third kind of damage. They activate special cells in the liver called hepatic stellate cells. These are the cells that lay down scar tissue. Even in a single acute event, retinol metabolites can start the early signaling for fibrosis. When hepatocytes rupture, they spill their internal enzymes into your bloodstream. Two of those enzymes are ALT and AST. These are the markers a blood test picks up. Elevated ALT and AST do not mean your liver is working hard. They mean liver cells have physically broken open. In cases linked to EGCG alone, ALT levels have been measured at 10 to 50 times the normal range. Combined with other compounds loading the same pathways, outcomes get worse. And here is the part that should unsettle you. Your liver has no pain receptors inside its tissue. Significant damage to your hepatocytes produces no pain signal, no sharp warning, no ache. What you might feel is mild fatigue, maybe a little nausea, or nothing at all. The only reliable early warning is a blood test you probably have not asked for. This is why supplement-induced liver injury keeps slipping through the cracks. The data shows that herbal and dietary supplements now account for roughly 20% of all liver injury cases in the US. A decade ago, that number was 7%. It has nearly tripled, but most people never connect the dots. They do not think of supplements as medications. When a doctor asks what drugs you take, you list your prescriptions. You do not mention the vitamin A, the green tea capsule, the niacin. And doctors do not always ask. Even when liver injury does show up on blood work, EGCG damage can look identical to viral hepatitis on a standard liver panel. The pattern mimics other conditions. The real cause gets missed. And no supplement manufacturer is required to test how their product interacts with other supplements or common over-the-counter drugs. Each product passes its safety review in isolation. The combination you created on your kitchen counter has never been through a single trial. But there is a fact buried in all of this that matters more than any of the damage. Your liver can regenerate. If the offending combination is identified and stopped before significant fibrosis sets in, your liver can rebuild the damaged tissue and restore full function. The biology offers a way out, but that way out depends entirely on one thing: knowing to look. When you started watching this, supplement safety was simple: safe or not safe. One label, one answer. Now you see something different. You see a two-phase assembly line inside every liver cell, a finite pool of glutathione fire blankets, and 3 compounds, arriving at the same time through the same narrow machinery, competing for the same enzymes, draining the same reserves, generating toxic debris faster than your body can clean it up. That picture changes what you do next. If you take multiple supplements regularly, ask for a comprehensive metabolic panel that includes ALT and AST. Those 2 enzymes are the earliest measurable signal that liver cells are breaking open. They catch damage long before you feel anything. Stop taking all your supplements at once. Stagger them. Spacing doses by even a few hours gives your liver time to clear one compound before the next arrives. It keeps the 2-burner kitchen from catching fire. If you are taking concentrated green tea extract, especially above 400 milligrams, do not combine it with other compounds that load CYP3A4 or drain glutathione. And if you currently take preformed retinol, consider switching to beta-carotene. Your body converts beta-carotene into vitamin A only as needed, which means your liver never gets hit with a bolus of reactive retinol metabolites it did not ask for. Think about those 3 bottles on your counter tomorrow morning. They look exactly the same as they did yesterday. Same labels, same promises, same doses. But you are not the same person looking at them. Because now you understand what no label will tell you. Your body does not process supplements the way you buy them, one bottle at a time. It processes them all at once, through shared machinery with finite capacity. Knowing that is the difference between supplementing wisely and supplementing blind.